tripping over this tripping over this situation in Atlanta with the Asians.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Actually, that's what I was thinking should be the topic of the show. Because it's not just Atlanta, though, right? Hasn't it been happening in other places too? Or
Well, yeah, I think it's been an ongoing thing. It's just that, you know, I guess this would be equivalent to George Floyd's public display of what happens to us all the time.
yeah, 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 for
You
sure,
know,
for sure. I just thought I maybe read something about somewhere else recently too. But yeah, Atlanta's a big deal. And then who was it? Was it the governor who responded?
the governor who responded, yeah, and
And it wasn't a good response, right?
not at all, not at all. And you know what? I blame it on cancel culture.
Blame what on cancel culture?
This whole everything that's happening right now, you know, the whole situation in Atlanta, I blame that on cancel culture.
How?
Because cancel culture has become a tool, in my opinion, for mass murder.
Explain.
So basically, let's say so in all these situations, the oppressed has always been the heroic character in the narrative.
Okay.
Right. So what happens when it's the opposite?
What do you mean? When the oppressed are not the heroic people?
Are not perceived as the heroic people and perceived as well, it would be terrorists using the current language.
I mean, it's hard for me to wrap my head around this. So you're saying the people that are the victims are not being perceived as the heroes in the situation?
Yeah, they're not being perceived as the heroes, but they're being perceived as, by their responses, they're being perceived as, because I mean, I only think it's only a few more times that us as a people can stand up for our rights.
Okay.
And you know, with the whole, and I think that was a broad statement what I initially said, but the things that have evolved from cancel culture, you get Proud Boys, you get all these groups have evolved from cancel culture.
I don't understand why they're getting credit. Why cancel culture is getting credit for these organizations. I mean, hate groups have been around a lot longer than cancel culture.
They have been around a lot longer, but they haven't been operating at the levels that they're operating now. Cancel culture gave it the basic, opened the door for them to come forth.
I can't agree with that. I mean, that's not. That's, to me, that's like causation versus. To me, that's like making it making a result when it's just something that's happening at the same time. I mean, we've had like the KKK was like running shit, like long before cancel culture was a thing, and they had a big presence, like bigger than they have now, right? And there were other groups out there too, you know, all types of groups out there. So there's been waves of hate groups operating at different levels. I mean, to me, here's the thing: cancel culture is a thing that can be frustrating to people because people think that People are taking things too far, but it's also a an easy scapegoat as well. It's something to take out your frustrations on and be like, oh, these young people and their cancel culture, they're messing everything up. You know, I can't even talk anymore without being censored or this and that. So I mean, there's a reality to it where I do think that people don't always think critically and they jump to conclusions, which is I think what the cancel culture criticism is about. But also, I think we give it too much credit as well. You know, I mean, these Proud Boys and these racists and all of that stuff. I mean, these people came up as white people started showing their face for what they didn't like, whether it was because Obama was elected and now they were like, hell no, now we got a black president, or whether it was because Trump was elected and they're like, hell yeah, we got a white president again. Now I can relax and be me and be as racist as I want to be. To me, that's real. I don't really understand what cancel culture has to do with that. Except maybe it's like young people's version of fighting for what they believe in, which other people don't really like.
Well, that's
how they do it.
What I'm saying is, like, I'm not saying cancel culture itself is a bad thing, because it became of the voice of, like you said, of young people fighting for what they believe in. But because of that vehicle that they created, other people have used it to further their negative efforts in the situation.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is the cycle of life, right? Like you can't blame someone's stupidity and negativity on someone else trying to defend themselves, right? Like you can't be like, oh, these crackers out here have guns because people started carrying knives and nunchucks. If it wasn't for the people carrying knives and nunchucks to defend themselves, we wouldn't have all these people shooting each other. You can't blame them for that. You got to blame the ignorant people who are out there shooting people. Or you got to go to the source itself and the ignorance that causes all of it. I mean, my problem is, look at how this governor reacted. Like, why do we have people like that in office?
I mean, that's what it is, man. Like, it's probably more of that in office than what we like to believe is in office.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just that now we're at a point in society where the media is against our government. So they want expose stuff to get exposed. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna put that stuff out there now.
Yeah.
Before they would protect the government and silence that stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, yeah, that's a good thing. At least there's some more objectivity, you know, and they're not just gonna go with the flow every time.
Well, you could thank Obama for that. That's what the whole transparency thing was about.
Mm-hmm.
Because transparency was not a cool thing until Obama got in office. Now everybody wants to be transparent.
Right.
You know, and I still say transparency is even staged. You know, reality TV even got scripts. So, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And it's called reality TV.
Right.
It's still scripted. So
the question is, how seriously are they going to take, these people that are committing these acts of violence?
Well, right? CNBC said that now is the perfect time for Blacks and Asians to unite.
Yeah.
I took that personal.
You took it personally?
Yeah, I took that personally
Okay. What do you
because
feel?
to me that's the same thing as us saying Black Lives Matter and then everybody using BLM to further their agenda. And it's not about Black Lives Matter. Everybody springboarded off of Black Lives Matter.
Well, I mean,
because before BLM, I ain't seen this many protesters out in the world like that. You know what I mean? Like that.
Okay, so what does that mean then?
That I don't know what it means. That's what's scary to me. I don't know what it means. Like, I don't know if it's something that's trustworthy or if it's something that's, I don't know if it's being mimicked or if it's genuine.
But see, at the end of the day, we have a certain strength and a certain charisma that we put out into the world.
Facts.
Now, we can either sit here and focus on, oh, these people are trying to copy me, or these people are trying to jump on my bandwagon for their own benefit, or we can say, why don't we pool our resources and like,
or not even mimicked in that manner. I mean, mimicked in the manner of BLM was the scariest thing that has ever happened to the world.
Okay.
Right? Because it was something that was never done.
Okay.
So, when we did it, people was cheering for us.
Mm-hmm.
But it was also like, people was like, yay for them. But guess what? We got this too.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then they just pushed us back in the corner, stopped yaying for us, and was yaying about what they was getting out. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's we inspired people to speak up for themselves, or if they're using us as a springboard to.
It's both. It's always both. The answer is always both. There's seldom one answer out here. Right?
Facts.
People want to say, oh, Tupac, you either got to keep your head up or I get around. Why? That's not how people are. People are both. People are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 things. Not even just both. So my thing is, are we going to sit here and are we going to complain about our movement being co-opted, or are we going to play chess and are we going to be the ones that decide how our movement gets used? Right? Because if we play the back burner and complain from the back and say, oh, every time we try to start something, everybody else wants to use it, then we operate from a position of weakness. If we play the front and we say, yeah, every time we start a movement, look how far it goes and look how everybody wants a piece. Okay, so now we're going to hand out a piece and we're going to hand out a responsibility with that piece. Yo, you guys over there, you guys are going to do this, this, and that. Yo, you guys over here, you're going to do this, this, and that.
Yeah, where's that person at?
I mean, it's not just a person, right? It's like, so, I mean, some people will say that we learned
not that person, but where's that energy at? That's what I'm missing. So, I'm looking for that energy right there.
I mean, that energy exists, but it's just not like, it's not on Front Street. Like, if you are in the movement, you know that groups are like working together on this shit. Like, groups are working together on this shit. All types of Black, brown, Asian, Pacific Islanders, like all types of people
absolutely
are working on this shit together. But it's not like on the evening news. We're not seeing it on Front Street like that.
No, but what I'm saying is like this. If I was to tell our people one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
in our agenda was to deliver a message to get the attention of our government. I would tell them, everybody boycott Amazon for 1 week.
Okay.
Not just tell everybody to boycott, because if we all do different shit, they ain't feeling nothing.
Right.
Everybody boycott Amazon, one thing for 1 week. You know what I mean? And then they'll understand.
Right.
But I just don't know why there's nobody there giving people this information like, yo, let's do it this way.
You feel like there's a lack of centralized leadership, right?
Yes,
like we don't have
absolutely.
we don't have the
Absolutely.
Martin scheduling the Montgomery bus boycott and everything.
Right. We don't have where's that at, man? That's what we need. We need that.
So here's my thing, and I'm not an expert. The only thing I can think is, they picked off all of our leaders one by one, and they did us dirty with the COINTELPRO and the this and the that and the assassinations. Even presidents were getting assassinated left and right, and presidents' brothers, and it just went crazy, like one after the next, all in the span of a few years. So my thing is, maybe activists got to the point where they were like, let's decentralize leadership, so if anything goes down, we're not lost all of a sudden, right? Because it's like, what happened, you see in the movie, when Fred Hampton goes to jail, the Panthers kind of start wilding out.
Right.
And they start making moves that he wasn't really
in favor of.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, damn, he wasn't even dead, and they were already like losing their shit. Yeah. And then what happened, when they did kill him, and then his comrades were put in jail and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I guess maybe people have kind of felt that if it's too centralized, I don't know. Maybe it's just an organic thing. Maybe it's
just something that just has to happen.
Yeah, maybe it's a combination. Maybe I do know that, like, when it comes to like Occupy Wall Street and stuff like that, there was a concerted effort to decentralize power and not have someone you could just go to and be like, all right, what are we doing today? Like they did not want that kind of power like that. Right. A tiered.
Yeah, that micromanaging.
Yeah, they didn't want that. They wanted everyone to have their pods of power, everyone in their equal understanding of what's going on, so that if you try to cut off, the head, there's still many different heads. Right. So that's all I can really think of is it's like that. But the problem with is, like you said,
Smith and
Barney. Like that, when it's like that, it's not the same level of inspiration or the same ability to get everyone on the same page. So
yeah, that's true. I guess the blessing is we talking to each other.
Yeah. If everyone is a part of it, maybe it's like it's decentralized, but everyone holds the information.
Yeah, we talking to each other.
Yeah,
and that's a big difference.
Yeah,
a big difference. It's really not a everybody for self thing now.
Right. I think it's got to be organized by like neighborhoods. I feel like people have to have this proximity to inspirational characters right in their neighborhood, so you don't have to go far to get the information. You don't have to go far to find out where the next boycott is or how you're going to make that move.
Absolutely. Or you ain't got to filter through social media to see what's true and what's not true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know, Mike. Maybe we were supposed to do it.
Maybe it's not a was. Maybe it's a is. Maybe we still are.
Maybe we still are.
But I have to admit, when I look at different media like this stereo app. Did you ever hop on stereo?
I downloaded it, but when I got on, y'all had already did the show.
Oh, okay. Well, if you just go on, did you start did you make an avatar?
I didn't get that far.
Okay.
All I did was I filled out enough information so I could join the show.
Okay. So yeah, when you mess with you should mess with it sometime, even on your own, like even when it's not one of us doing a show. I mean, me and you should just do one for fun, like just whenever, because it's kind of fun to do. But even if you mess with it on your own, you can go live and it'll let you hop on with a random person and you guys can start kicking it and record what you talk about. And I've been in some deep discussions. And I've been I've been in these kind of discussions, including with a dude, black dude from England with a Nigerian background. And he kept saying,
wow.
yo, I'm glad that I'm talking to you about this because, people have misconceptions about all this stuff. And so we're talking about defund the police and we're talking about Black Lives Matter and we're talking about all of this stuff. And I'm like, yo, this is a great platform to spread good information. And I'm like, eventually, it would be good to have a show where we had a good number of followers so we could spread that good information. But even in the meantime, just speaking to people one-on-one, that's a dope concept,
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
But I'd like to figure out how to use that platform for something positive and for something concentrated. A concentrated
How many
level.
people do you talk to at once?
I mean, you could have a show with lots of listeners. I mean, if your show blows up, people you could have hundreds of listeners listening to you. I mean, there's been a few times where I saw there were some famous people who had a show. I didn't notice how many people were on, and then a lot of times there's just some personalities that keep hopping on that I've been following. Some people will advertise their show on Instagram or whatever. So there's different levels of people on there. But if people like your content, you can start building. You can start building your show.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's real easy. It's just took a couple of minutes. The longest it took was really just working on my avatar. Once that was done, I just hopped right in. Sometimes the conversation only lasts a couple minutes. Sometimes it lasts over an hour.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Or,
Hell yeah.
So I got my first shot. The second one will be coming on the 5th of April. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shit, hold on 1 second.
Okay. So our friend does King Fusion infused drinks and goods. I'm not gonna mention his name just in case he doesn't want his name mentioned. I really don't know how people get down with those type of products. I mean, I know that he wants me to big up the product itself. I just don't know what association he wants with it. But I had a juice, apple Fiji infused juice that he made, and it was good. It was definitely good, like good flavor. And then I had a hot sauce too.
Apple Fiji, you said?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Apple Fiji was good. Yeah, it was like really, really good, really refreshing. It wasn't that strong either. I mean, I could feel it, but it wasn't, it wasn't like crazy at all. I definitely kind of felt something, and you know, kind of started napping a little bit. But I've been sitting streaming at my desk, so that's kind of to be expected. It was good though.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, I
He,
recommend.
he online?
Yeah, yeah. On Facebook, it's King Fusion, and on Instagram, it's at King Fusion.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see that I put it in some of my recent posts. Wow, this I'm looking at an Instagram picture of this writer I know named Akinele Umoja. He's showing a picture with him and Castro in Cuba in 1990. He has this book that I'm trying to get my hands on called "We Will Shoot Back." I was trying to get my hands on a cheaper version. Like I don't really do like the Kindle or the audio books. I mean, I could, but I'd like to get my hand on a physical book. But I was trying to see if I can get a cheaper version of it. But he's out of Jackson, Mississippi, and they got some black radical folks down there that Pac was connected to, and his book is about like the struggle and like people throughout history who were engaged in like armed liberation struggle in the United States, contrary to belief. It wasn't always turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
What else has been going on?
Not much, man. Just this with this youngin.
Oh yeah.
I got that 4-year-old, man.
Oh, how's he doing?
Man, he keeps me busy.
Yeah.
Definitely keeps me busy. Chasing him around, man. I'm too old for this.
Yeah, I hear you. That sounds like a lot.
I'm gonna be 60 with an 18-year-old.
Damn. You got to do a lot of stretching.
Man, all he want to do is bang on shit, jump off of shit, all types of stuff. These kids is different now. Like they nothing like my older my older kids.
How are they different?
They don't listen.
Oh, okay, okay,
Like they don't have fear.
okay.
They like I'll tell him don't jump off of that because you might hurt yourself. He'll jump and say, I didn't hurt myself.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I'd be like, but okay, but you didn't that time.
Right, right.
He'll say, but I didn't that time, so I'm not gonna hurt myself.
I see.
You know what I mean? They different. Like
Yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah. They're gonna learn That means they're gonna learn the hard way, eventually. Let's call learning the hard way. Did you see? Are you are you a fan of the Zack Snyder Justice League movie at all? The Zack
No, I
Snyder
haven't
cut.
watched.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that joint. I saw it a little bit early yesterday, like the first half of it, anyways. Then I finished it. Finished it today. It's a pretty good flick. They definitely changed it up a bit and made it a darker movie. Would you get your stimmy? Your stimmy check?
Nah, I ain't get it.
No.
Nah, the Bills got it.
Oh, the Bills, damn.
Yeah, the Bills got it.
The Bills are doing well this year.
The Bills are doing well this year. Absolutely. They were struggling.
Yeah.
Doing well now. That sucks, man. Because I knew that from the beginning when they was talking all this rent and utility forgiveness.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, but and y'all sending us money like we ain't gonna have to do nothing but send that money right to the people you just gave us the forgiveness for.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Because all that forgiveness is they just not cutting your shit off. They still billing you.
Yeah. Yeah, that is messed up. Yeah, that's not really true forgiveness.
Yeah, that's not forgiveness at all.
That's like when they say, "Well, I forgive, but I don't forget."
I thought we was tapping into the free energy era.
Yeah. Not yet. Not yet, that's for sure.
Yeah, apparently not. On the phone.
That
my dog had a few comments about that.
Yeah, he's got big energy. He's got a big opinion. They got that Winter Soldier and Falcon coming out soon. That joint should be pretty dope.
Yeah, that should be dope. That should be dope, actually.
Yeah, I like Mackie. Mackie's been in some good stuff. He's been doing his thing.
I'm glad he finally got a character.
Yeah. Man, I know once you get one of these characters, man, you're set.
Yeah.
You gotta be like, damn, I hit the jackpot.
Yeah, you're gonna get a part 2, a part 3, a part 4.
Yeah.
He good.
When does this joint come out? Like next week?
You know, what you call is the star of Black Panther 2.
Who?
Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, okay. What do you mean the star? Like, are you saying that his character becomes the Black Panther?
I don't know if that's how they wrote it, but I saw the poster board, and it's just a picture. It's a picture of him and another girl.
Okay.
But it's him like standing, but the girl is like inside his body, and she's standing up.
Okay.
It's like a waist picture of him just rising up behind her. So, I mean, he could still be a Killmonger, the villain, but I don't know.
Okay. So we're not really We're not really sure, but we know he's got some significant part.
Well, I think with Chadwick dying, this may be the first Marvel movie that they went off script from the comic book.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? Most of the movies, they stay in context with the comic, how the comic book story went.
Well, see, that's interesting for them to do that because, first of all, you know, these comic cats don't play. I mean, you know how issues these
Right,
guys
right.
these guys
Right.
get pissed off really easy, and they don't
Yeah.
like you straying from the comic book. From the little that I know about the comics is there's plenty of storyline where someone else becomes the Black Panther. So for me, it's like they shouldn't have to stray from the comic book because T'Challa was not the only Black Panther. Now, I think Ish was telling me that he was for a very long time. So maybe they might have to go.
He was for a long time.
Yeah, so they might have to go to a different time, which they kind of love doing anyway. They love taking you back.
Or use some B-roll and do it like Star Wars did, where they told you the ending before the beginning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And they love doing that in these comic book movies anyway. They love taking you to the 80s, you know. They love doing the 80s version, or they love doing this and that. So they could do a period piece, take you back in time, or they could do a futuristic joint, you know.
To me, that's still one of the greatest things ever done in Hollywood.
What's that?
Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
When after it was all said and done, it was done.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came back and said, we want you to make another Star Wars for the new generation.
Right.
He said, how about I'll just let you bring them back to the theaters again, the original ones. They brought them back to the theaters again.
Mm-hmm.
Then they said, nah, we want you to make another one. And he said, another something like Star Wars, he said, nope, I'm just going to make Star Wars.
Yeah.
But it's done. You told the story. Nope, that was the ending. That's great, dude. That was the ending. Yeah. I'm gonna tell the beginning now. That was great.
Yeah, no, that's smart. I mean that's
because
that's
a lot of franchises picked up on that tactic and named storytelling.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, you're right. I mean they've been doing that. They've been doing that ever since.
Yeah, that was great.
Certainly been doing that ever since. I mean, obviously, if it's done right, it gives you a chance to do something interesting because it's like what we're really doing is we're showing you a backstory now.
Right, you know? Right. And then the crazy ass mind bending directors, they done took it and flipped it into some old other shit where they telling you the story and you looking at the end of the story the whole time, but you don't know it's the end of the story. Right. Because you know what I mean? Because they got you focused on some old other shit.
Right.
Yeah, the directors is dope to me. When I watch movies, I watch it from a director's view.
Yeah, well, you know, that's an interesting thing because it's like when I watched the Snyder cut, you know, obviously Snyder had a much different vision, much darker, just a much cooler movie. But even something funny about the movie to me, I mean, I don't. Hopefully, it's not a spoiler, but you know, I hated Jesse Eisenberg in the movie, right? Uh-huh. Like I hated. Actually, sorry. Now that I think about it, I'm actually thinking about Batman vs Superman that I hated Jesse Eisenberg. But anyways, just the fact that a better director can get a much better performance out of an actor than someone who just doesn't get it, or you know, someone that they're not vibing with.
Absolutely, all day. It's a lot of directors I would rather it's directors that are big time, but if they came to me and said, "Yo, I got an opportunity for you," I would not work.
Like Michael Bay.
Like Michael Bay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like Michael Bay, I would not work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's like even like let's say James Cameron, which he's had some dope movies, right? He's done the Terminator movies, then he's also done the Avatar movies. But his wife, I'm forgetting her name, she did the Hurt Locker.
Yeah.
Catherine something.
Yeah.
Like someone like that, just because they don't work on the same level of budget, you're gonna probably have a much doper movie.
Yeah, I'd rather work with a B director than an A director.
Well, yeah. Well, for me, it's not even saying B or A, right? Because it's not like I'm not calling her a B director. She just isn't a blockbuster director, right?
Right. Yeah, A director meaning the blockbuster director.
Yeah.
I'd rather work with a non-blockbuster than a blockbuster.
Yeah. I mean, some people can do both.
A non-blockbuster is open to ideas.
Yeah, and they like the craft. They're probably in it for the craft, and they can do dope things with the actors. Whereas, like, some of these guys are just in it for the Transformers level of special effects, and then you have horrible performances.
Right.
Even George Lucas was like that. It's just that he had a lot of great ideas, though. But as far as an actual director, actors didn't like working with him because he didn't know how to direct the actors.
Because he was a visionary.
Yeah, he's a great producer, but he wasn't really a director, like, at all.
Now, he was dope at directing the stagehands.
Mm-hmm.
But the actors, they was pretty much on their own.
Yeah, that's got to be rough.
It is. Listen, when you have no direction, that's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, there's some actors who can handle that, like improv actors, they can handle that. Like, okay, well, I just,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trained for this.
Yeah.
But if you're a method actor or something like that, you can't.
Right.
No direction is hard.
Yeah.
Because it becomes your movie.
Right.
And each actor is doing the same thing, making it their movie, and it's not, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, then where's the cohesive
project?
Right,
there's no cohesion there.
Yeah. Yeah, plus if you're trying to lose yourself in a character, you don't want those other responsibilities.
Absolutely not.
You just want to just focus on the character. And that's it.
Like when you're doing character studies, you really don't even want to talk to people that know you.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're trying to get as far away from you as possible.
Right. For sure.
You know what I mean? So you don't really want nothing that remind you of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
People be thinking you being an asshole, but it don't really be that.
Right. Yeah.
Just take a weird type of focus.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun, but I think I'm over it, though.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm over it.
Yeah, I dabbled, but I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind dibbling and dabbling again. I had some good little joints. I did.
Because I think for me, it was that my experience was being in the right place at the right time.
Right.
And then when it was like, okay, yeah, this is raw. I think I want to do this. And then I had to do the hustle part of it.
Right.
It was kind of like, man.
Yeah, now you really gotta love it. Now
Now
you
you really
really,
gotta love that shit. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, you really got to love it in order to do
And
it.
my heart wasn't beating like that.
Right,
So it
right.
was like, I I don't know.
Yeah, that's
But
like the
again,
hardest part.
if I'm in the right place at the right time, yeah, I jump back on it. But
Sure.
as far as trying to put effort into it, I think
Yeah,
I'm done with that.
yeah.
As old as I am, man, this music is always is my love, bro.
Mhm.
You know,
Well, see, that's the dope thing about the acting thing is I was about to ask you like, how were you in the right place at the right time? Was it based on music?
it was.
And so if it was, that's cool because you could focus on the one and then you can dibble and dabble in the other and just do it on your own terms.
True, true, true. Yeah, that's crazy because it was based on music, and the music never happened.
Mm.
Well, the music never happened the way it was explained to me it was going to happen.
Okay.
I wound up just being an extra in a music video.
Okay.
And that led to me, the director of the music video doing the movie, and he asked me if I wanted to be in it.
Okay.
That's how that happened.
Word.
And then like doing that movie, I met other people who was like, hey, we got this audition, you should go audition. Our people are the people who are doing the casting. So
Okay.
we're urging you to go audition. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it was like that type shit.
Yeah.
So it really wasn't I was looking for it or finding out this stuff and, highlighting auditions in the newspaper and stuff. I wasn't doing all that.
Right. Right. Right.
It was just the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Shit. If I'm in Florida and I'm walking past a construction site watching them build some shit,
Mm-hmm.
like one of them skyscrapers, and the foreman say, hey, you know how to do work? You know what I'm gonna tell him? Yep.
Yep. No doubt. Word.
Be at about 8 a.m. I'm gonna be right there.
Yeah.
And I figure it out.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. A person told me a long time ago when I was young that life is about how many opportunities you conceive and you can seize in a positive manner.
Right.
So that always stuck with me.
Mm.
So whenever an opportunity, yeah, I can do it. I can do it.
Yeah, you might as well, right?
Like, you might got to refresh me a little bit, but I can do it. Yeah. Yeah, I remember one time that attitude got me into a studio.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there in front of a Control 24 console. You know how big that is. That's a Control 24 is a big joint.
What are you talking about? A studio console?
Yeah, studio console.
Okay.
Right.
Mhm.
So they was like, yo, so go ahead and make a beat. Now, that was my first time sitting at a mixing board having to make a beat from scratch without somebody turning everything on and setting it up for me.
Right. Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I did was, before I went there, I had asked them what type of console they had. And they told me a Control 24. So I called my white boy and I told him, he went to school for this shit.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, what you know about a Control 24? And he just sent me the Control 24 manual.
Okay.
the user manual that come with it.
Yeah.
So I just got that joint, and I was just reading that joint on how to operate the machine.
Okay.
So when I got there, I was able to make a beat.
Okay.
Made a quick 10,000.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Yeah. Made a quick 10,000.
Damn. So that was okay. So yeah, knowing how to think on your toes, that was knowing how to hustle.
Man, that was just that mentality of I can do it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I can do it.
Yeah.
You know. And that was just my brother. He cut hair. So he cut hair for somebody who recorded at that studio.
Okay.
So I was telling to him, like, yo, man, you gotta get me in the studio when I'm down there. And that's how he connected me, got to talking. It was like, yo, come back. Yo, so you can make a beat.
Was that I feel like so for 10 G's, that must be someone who's got some bread. Like whose album that was for? Do you know who?
He was I don't know who it was for, but he was a local artist from what I do know of.
Okay.
It was a local artist, an independent artist.
Okay.
So, I don't know what his tour schedule, what his demographic is like.
Mm-hmm.
It was I was shocked too when he handed me that envelope.
Damn. That's somebody who's probably sounds like somebody who's, turning over a new leaf or getting into, someone who's independently wealthy.
I kind of felt like they was just honestly, I kind of felt like they had street money.
Mm-hmm.
They had a studio.
Yep.
And they was trying to get it off the ground.
Yeah.
So I came around when they was just, they was trying out different recipes before they start serving their dishes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. That's a great position to be in.
That was really, it was dope. It was dope.
Did you get to hear how the song came out?
My brother got a copy of it.
Okay.
Like literally, once I got the envelope, I was done.
Yeah.
I just went on with my life after that.
Yep, just did your part. Yep.
They never hollered back at me or nothing.
Okay.
But then I switched phone numbers and all that shit, so sure. I don't know, not.
Yeah.
But yeah. I was actually expecting them to call me back and be like, yo, you got to bring that bread back, man. They don't like this beat.
Shit. No returns, no exchanges. I'll give you a discount on the next beat?
Yeah, right. You know what? Let me tell you something. Next one, half off.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now, this is a crazy story, Mike. So, it was a point in my life where I was teaching in schools, right? And on 2 days out the week, I taught at a middle school. 3 days I taught at a high school.
Okay.
Right. And this was when Clinton was president.
Okay.
Because that's who I worked for. It was a program that he had put together in schools to teach kids life skills. Right. And the program is still active now. They just don't do that anymore. They paint houses and stuff. It's called AmeriCorps.
Okay.
Right. So, I taught fourth graders at Black Rock Academy. And I also taught 7th and 8th graders at Black Rock Academy.
Mhm.
Right. One of my 7th grade classes was an ESL class.
Okay.
And you know what ESL is, right?
Yeah, English is a second language.
Right.
Mhm.
So we one of the kids that was in the class, he was a troubled kid, you know, but he was cool. And he but he just used to stay in trouble all the time. So they had a talent show coming up that he wanted to be in, and he was just showing his ass one day, and I'm like, yo, my man, why is you acting up, man? Like, why are you not paying attention in class, man? It's your education, you know, give him that talk and everything.
Mhm.
And he's like, man, he said, my teacher was getting mad because I'm trying to write my rap, and I got a talent show. So I'm like, yo, listen, you pay attention in class, then when it's time for us to come into your classroom for our class, I'll sit down with you, and we're gonna give y'all a study hall anyway today. So I'll sit down with you and help you write a rap.
Hmm.
He was like, for real? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh man. He's like, that's what's up. So we did that, right?
Mhm.
So we developed a rapport after that. So I had bought him a Ghostface tape, a Big Pun tape, and another tape.
Which ghosts?
It was the purple tape. That was Ray, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Ray had the purple tape. So I gave him Ray,
Mhm.
Pun, and Iron Man.
Oh, okay.
And
Where?
I told him, I said, learn these 3 rap styles,
Mhm.
right? I said, when you learn these 3 rap styles, like learn the patterns of how they rhyme, and then just listen to them really close, and then you write a rap. I said, first try to write it like they write it,
Mhm.
and then try to write it your own way.
Okay.
So I seen him like some years later after that, right? After that school year.
Mhm.
And I seen him at a weed house,
Okay.
right? And he was like, yo, he had to be about 14, 15 at this point.
Okay.
He was like, yo, I just got signed to Def Jam,
Damn.
right? So I'm thinking 14, 15, you like 14, 15, you ain't get signed to Def Jam. Come on, dude. I would have heard about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You from the town, I would have heard about that.
Yeah.
Right. So I just pushed it to the back of my mind. You know, I ain't really say nothing. I just told him, I was like, that's cool. That's what's up. He's like, yo, they gave me the studio and everything. Got the studio in the crib and everything. At the trap house though. Right. And he's like, yo, you gotta come through and make a joint. Right. So I was like, you know, I gave him, yeah, I'm gonna come through. But I never went through. That trap house got raided and there was a shootout there.
Oh, damn.
Right. He went to jail. He got out of jail. He went to New York. He started talking to the record labels. And eventually he got a deal with Shady.
Oh, yeah.
And he introduced the world to Griselda Records.
Oh, say word.
That's my word.
Damn.
That's my word.
That's
That's
crazy.
my word. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. It still amazes me to this day.
What's his name?
Alan.
Alan. Okay.
Alvin.
Oh, Alvin. Okay. What's his MC name?
West Side Gun.
Oh, that's West Side Gun. Oh, okay.
Yeah, West
Word.
Side Gun.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
So you influenced the biggest thing to come out of Buffalo.
Yeah. And
You're
and
like his
and, and I
rap
could say
OG.
that I could say yeah, probably because somebody called me that's not from the town.
Okay.
And they was asking me about him, was like, yo, I heard that they say the next biggest thing about to come from your town, man. You man, just some kid named West Side Gun. He said you taught him how to rap.
Oh shit.
And I was like, I don't know nobody named West Side Gun. I don't know nobody from the West Side. I'm from the East Side.
Mhm.
This was before it happened.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you remember? Do you remember being on Monroe Ave?
Monroe Ave. It sounds familiar.
It was downtown.
What was there, a studio?
196 Monroe Ave.
Was that a studio we used to go to?
That's where Roz lived at.
Okay.
You remember Razia?
Yes.
Okay. Remember she had got pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Remember she used to call us and cry on the phone and stuff, how she didn't have diapers and stuff like that?
That I don't really remember all that.
She probably didn't call you, but she used to call me and Dwayne.
Okay.
But so during that time, she was like, why isn't there a place that you can go to get diapers if you need them?
Okay.
So she was like, you know what? I'm gonna start that place. Right?
Yeah.
She said this back then. Right? Right now, Razia owns the only diaper dispensary in this region.
Oh wow.
There's only 3 in the United States.
Okay.
She owns one.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, dude. Like, unbelievable.
And
Unbelievable.
this is like a nonprofit kind of joint to help people who need it, or what?
Yeah, it's nonprofit
Okay.
to help people who need it. But so let's say somebody else wants to start one.
Mhm.
They have to go through her to do it
Oh wow.
because she started the first one.
Okay.
Like, that's a big thing that a Black woman started the first diaper dispensary.
Yeah, she's gonna be in a history books.
It's called Every Bottom Cover.
Okay.
But man, I mean, she went from getting like donations from friends,
Mhm.
just donating to like on GoFundMe's, like posting up GoFundMe's, getting like $300-$400 to buy diapers, and she was delivering them in her car.
Okay. Word.
She went from that to Target buying her a warehouse and giving her 2 truckloads of diapers. Pampers sending her a truckload of diapers. Like she like, it's crazy, dude, because she used to have joints in her house.
Yeah.
And we used to be wrapping them shits up. Crazy. Yeah, Roz is doing big things right now.
That's dope.
When I met Roz, though, when I first met Roz, I handed her a magazine. Actually, that's a lie. When I first met Roz, I met her at Wegmans. I saw her name tag, and I was about to have my first child. And I was like, that's a dope name. And I said, yo, I might steal your name. Right? So I'm at work, and the human resources manager, you know, I'm cool with her too. She telling me that her daughter's about to start working with us. And she you know, so her daughter shows up and is Roz.
Okay.
Right? So I'm like, oh shit, you the girl for the grocery store. And she was like, yeah, I didn't know you work with my mom. And I was like, yeah. It was like, okay, so, and then we found out we live right around the corner from each other. So it was just, you know, that shit was just the universe.
Yeah.
But we went to lunch together and we had talked. And that's how I found out she sang. And that's how, and I gave her this magazine. And the magazine was the most influential Black women in America, the 100 most influential Black women in America. And I told her, I said, you're going to be in this magazine one day. And she's like, why you say that? I said, just from your conversation, you're going to be in this magazine one day. This is before she had a baby, anything.
Okay.
But you're going to be in this magazine one day. And she's been nominated to be in that magazine, bro.
That's great.
You know, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. So those are the 2 people I inspired. I know that's wasn't what the show was about, but
no, I mean that's certainly what the show's about. I mean, we always start with one topic, but you know, we always get into other great topics as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's great. That's inspirational. It's inspirational for sure.
Yeah, great. I see it. I see it at times, man. I definitely see it.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, man, like, and it's crazy, like the things I saw in those 2 people, they had a glow about them. It's an aura that you can see on people.
Sure.
Some people have it and some people don't.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And it's crazy. But when it's there, I see it, man. It's clear. I wish it was a job for that.
Well,
it used to be a job for that, but they cut it out. It was called the A&R.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, I was about to say that sounds like a. Yeah, I was about to say that sounds like an A&R. Sounds like an A&R job.
Yeah, it doesn't exist no more.
Yeah.
Thanks to the internet.
Yep. For sure. That would be dope to hear you get props to hear Westside Gunn, you know, mention you in an interview or something. He probably maybe wouldn't mention you by name, but maybe by circumstance.
He had an interview where he said something that I kind of felt like he was talking to me.
Right, exactly.
he has said that they was asking him who was his inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
and they suggested, like, is it Jay-Z? Is it, he's like, nah. He said, to be honest with you, he was like, most of my inspirations, he said, the dopest MCs I ever heard is from Buffalo.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I kind of took that as,
Right. Didn't mention you by name, but you knew
but yeah,
who he was talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I kind of thought about the fact that at first I was like, wow, he ain't saying my name. But then I was like, you know what? What is he going to say? KD?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And
Yeah, out
then,
of context, yeah, it wouldn't have made sense.
and
Yeah, it wouldn't have
then
made sense.
people would think he's talking about KD.
Right.
You're like, Kevin Durant? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so, And Kevin Durant played at Texas Tech. I used to go watch him play a lot in college.
Mm-hmm.
I was staying out in Texas while he was out there.
Okay.
And I knew he was going to be who he is. Watching him play,
yeah,
I knew he was going to be who he is. And I was telling people, like, yo, that's going to be one of the greatest players in the NBA. And it's like, nah, he too frail, he too skinny.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, he's going to be one of the greatest players in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's a when it comes to that, a lot of it is skill set, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot more of it is your build.
Okay.
And his design, how he's physically built,
Mm-hmm.
he's aerodynamically destined to be great.
Okay. And what do you mean by that?
Like there's certain statures that can just dominate in basketball.
Okay.
I played against all types of big men.
Right.
And it's certain statures that, when I seen them, I knew exactly what type of game to expect.
Okay.
And like he's got one of those statures like it's an elusive stature.
Right.
They call it wired. They say he's wired. Like the length of his arms.
Mm-hmm. The way he probably grabs rebounds and like steps in.
Well, he's got high shoulders, so that gives him a definite advantage.
Yeah.
Like mostly all the NBA players with high shoulders are pretty good.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just gives them a different advantage. It's crazy. That's why I respect those small guys. Like I respect the small guys that play.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Nate Robinsons, the Spud Webbs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, you gotta be fearless to be their height and get out there in the court with them dudes. Because you know how tall I am, right?
Yeah. How do you compare to Kevin Durant?
Well, I'm gonna tell you how I compare to the NBA.
Okay.
In the NBA, I would be one of the smallest people on the court.
Okay.
I'm 6'8", so I will be in the world as a regular citizen. I'm a giant,
Right.
but in the NBA, I'm a guard.
Okay.
You know what
Not
I
even
mean? Like
not even a small
I'm
forward.
not even a small forward.
Mm.
I'm a guard.
Okay.
You know, I'm Jordan's height.
Okay.
Actually, I'm 2 inches taller than Jordan. Jordan was 6'6",
Okay.
but I'm like Kobe's height.
Right.
So like them other guys, they trees, man. They massive, them massive dudes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I done been out there in the court with dudes, man, and I felt like I was in an alternate universe
Mm.
where the people were bigger
Yeah.
than normal humans.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Because it's not too often that I walk past somebody and they're taller than me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So to be in that element that's kind of freaks me out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely take my hat off to the shorter players. They got to be fearless to go in there because them dudes is brutal.
Yeah.
Them dudes is
Yeah.
brutal.
For real.
They say football is a brutal game. Basketball is a brutal game.
Hmm.
It's a lot that goes on that people do not see, man. People grab your nuts,
Damn.
punch you in the stomach, poke you in the eyes, all types of stuff. They
Hmm.
poke you in the eyes in football too,
Right.
but the worst thing you can do in basketball is to undercut somebody.
Mm.
That's the worst thing you can do. Nobody respects that. Not even the person that did it.
Right.
That's the worst you can do.
All right, man. Well, I'm getting a little bit tired, but it's been a good session today. We talked about some real shit,
Yes, sir.
some
Yes,
good
sir.
shit,
Yes, sir.
and yeah, we'll get back on it sometime. Thanks for coming through.
No problem. Anytime, man. Just hit me up.
All right, cool. All right, stay safe, man.
All right, one.
All right, one.